Hi, welcome to class. We're the only two right now, but the other ones will show up eventually, right? I hate my life. I hate my life.
And Professor Sunreis Productions!
Hello class, Professor Sunreis here. First of all, sorry I haven't posted in a while. I just moved in with my girlfriend, as you can see in the switched background, so I was quite busy last week. But nonetheless, today we're taking a look at a replay analysis. I'm going into it completely blind. A good friend of mine sent it to me. I think he's playing Prank Kids, but you will of course know in the title before I do. So it's going to be a blind replay analysis, so it's going to be a little more guessing what will happen and maybe predicting what will happen, not already knowing and then like saying if it's good or if it's bad. And also I'm going to look a lot like this in the video because my main monitor broke in moving in with my girlfriend. I already bought a replacement, it just hasn't arrived yet. So without further ado, of course, don't forget to like and subscribe and leave some feedback down in the comment, and especially if you have cool replays you want me to analyze. I have an email down there in the description. You can send me them there. So let's get right into the replay. So thanks to not having two monitors, we're gonna start like this. The Prank Kids player won. This is my friend. He's a 726 rating against a 429 rating person, but like this is a freshly traded account, so that's actually a pretty good rating for that. Prank Kids is starting. Opening had a small word, Roxy's Plays, Lampsy's Fusion Destiny. That's pretty broken, especially going first. And the opponent is having Chaos on Dragon Link, Chaos Emperor, Absolute, Impermanence, Ogre, Rocket Synchron. Those are pretty good hands both of them have. So the Prank Kids is starting to think small world on the Roxy's. I don't know exactly the bridge. It's of course, it's by the way a 60 card Prank Kids list. Maybe that's important. He's on 42 cards. Kind of hard to see if you don't start with it. Over the Ogre, that's of course a level 3. Earth, that's important. Earth we have here. The stat stones contradict each other, and then we go into the Enchantress over the level 3. So that's pretty good. Oh, he's not banishing them face down. What a rude boy. So, Enchantress, banish itself, search out the right. No punish here whatsoever. The Ogre is probably going on the right, I would assume. And then Impermanence probably on either the Doodle-Doo or maybe like the first. Maybe he's waiting on an Anaconda as well, and then he will get punished by the Fusion Destiny. But we will see. Normal summon Lampsy's, summon the Meow Meow, chaining 1, chaining 2. Will get hit by an Ogre, so no Brave Engine. Minus 500. Fancies and Meow Meow go into Doodle-Doo. Chaining 1 Fancies, chaining 2 Doodle-Doo. He will let this go through, okay. That's pretty standard. I think that's pretty standard. You probably wouldn't Impermanence there. Now he's using Doodle-Doo to get back. I think he's doing that to play around something. Usually you go into another Doodle-Doo, right? And then get them back. But, well, it doesn't matter. I don't know Prank Kids too well. I haven't tested it out that much. So this is quite interesting for me. So he's got Pandemonium back and Lampsy's. He's going for Pranks. Pitching the Lampsy's, getting a token. And with those two, he's going into another Doodle-Doo. Triggering the Dropsies. Getting the Roxy's. I hate those fucking names. I'm almost vomiting. Doodle-Doo and Roxy's go into Bow Bow Warg. Roxy's banishing that. Oh, Illusion. That's okay draw. I don't know if you really want to go for it now. Maybe just search the souls, but do you summon this? You could pitch Fusion Destiny and get the Fusion Destiny, like get to Anaconda that way, but you play into so many hand traps with that play, like into the Impermanence and into a Nib. You probably don't want to do that. Do you just hit the Pranks? Or you just bait the, oh, you just use it to bait an Impermanence. That's pretty good, yeah. Okay, so Anaconda, pay 2k, get Impermanence, will be like, all according to plan, do the anime glasses move. Activate Fusion Destiny, summon the PPE, and that's game because Drangling can't really play through 3 pops at all. Not even looking at the top deck. Maybe if you get like another Imperm, you could maybe play around it, but probably not. So, game 2, opening hands is Rite, Adventure, Ash, plays Impermanence. That's a pretty good opening hand. That's like 2 hand traps and like the most important engines against Gamma, Nocto, Nib, Gamma, and Seyfert. That's also a pretty decent hand, especially the Gamma and Seyfert. It's like God combo against Ash. The opponent is just passing though. Why would you? I mean, yeah, Gamma Nib is insane, but like you have so much, don't you? Like these two just give you enough to play through, and if this can't get ashed. I don't know. That seems like a weird misplay. I definitely would have played that out. I've tested Dragon League a little more than I have tested Prankets, and I definitely, especially like losing game 1, I would definitely play that out. Like in game 1, yeah, you can say, okay, I'm chilling with that, but in game 2, you definitely play it out, even against like a deck with a lot of hand trumps. Okay, the opponent still doesn't know what he's playing. Okay, that's maybe one advantage. Draw for turn was the Griffin Rider, I think. I haven't watched it. So he's activating the adventure out of the hand. Oh no, wait, I'm just dumb. You definitely don't want to do that because you want to use that as a chain blocker, of course. In every other deck apart from Prankers, you definitely want to activate adventure first and then use the Ride, just so that you can trigger the Draco back surge as soon as possible. Activating the place. I mean, I get the point. Like Gamma Nib, you are just going to play through anything, especially because of the second Gamma. There's nothing your opponent can do but have hard draw Fusion Destiny. Problem with that is that you still don't have that many plays, and you cannot use your. Slight misclick. What I wanted to say is that by not playing here, you kind of open up your opponent. You kind of open up the hand trap fragility. I don't know how to say it, because you will start the turn with a Nib on the field, even though the second Gamma will probably be alive because Chainlink 1 Nib, Chainlink 2 Gamma, Summon Gamma, and Driver. Driver will go into the graveyard. The second Gamma will be alive, but you have a Nib on the field, probably. So you actually won't be alive, so the Seyfert can actually get ashed, and then you don't have anything. So I'm not too 100% sure about that play. But Lampsy's Chainlink 1, Fateful Adventure Chainlink 2, let's get back into the game. Summoning the Fansies. Fansies and Meow Meow going to Doodle-Doo. Chainlink 1 Fansies, Chainlink 2 Doodle-Doo, that's pretty standard. Prankets combo has been really simplified and dumped down in this deck. It's just the bare minimum what the deck does. But it works. It's probably the strongest deck of the format right now, just because of all the shit it can play. And it can go to 60 cards because any Pranket does the same. Having 7 hard copies of Ride/Enchantress is more than enough to get into the Brave Engine. Then having the extra draws of the souls and stuff like that, it's pretty insane. Definitely, I think it's the best deck of the format. It also has like decent time against Flow Wonderies, I assume, because of all of these hand traps. But for that, I haven't tested it enough. So Doodle-Doo, the same play as last turn, gets the Pandemonium and the 1 Lampsies, or the 1 name. Adventure, pitch the Draco back. Enchantress herself, okay. He's going Battle Phase. He's nibbing. Why is he nibbing that? What? Okay, that's like a huge misplay, right? Because why would you nip this? This is not game on board. This is 4K. Am I missing something? Do they summon in attack or defense? In defense position, okay. So if he could have done that, but like, I don't get it. Why would you do it like that? You know the opponent has a Pranks, a Pandemonium, and 1 name in hand. You give him a token. and they can get another token on the field, and you have no way of interrupting the Anaconda, and you don't die in battle phase. That's like a straight up misplay of the opponent. So, of course, he's gonna activate Pranks, pitch the Lampsies, summon a token, turn one token into a Link Spider, turn a second token into a Link Spider. I think DB Reiner talked about that you actually don't need those two in the extra deck, because it's only if the opponent nips you unfavorably that you actually can use that. And usually if the opponent nips you smart, you can't actually go for that route. And that's definitely a bad nip, and where like the double Link Spider into Anaconda route came up. Summon Anaconda. I mean, that does open up the field, so the Savior is protected again, so maybe we will get into a grind game. Dump all the bricks, feel good. Summon Enforcer. Enforcer effect, probably pop Anaconda. And the nib. Battle phase, attack for 2.5. Main 2, set Imperm. Do you set Pandemonium here just as a bluff? Probably not, no. End phase, Pranks, get another draw. Shuffle back Meow. Do and one Fansies. Hopefully top deck a prank. Foolish Burial, that's not a prank. It also doesn't do anything because you already have Enchantress. By the way, he should have actually used Enchantress here, so to thin out the deck just a little. Doesn't matter because he didn't hard through the right, so he didn't really get punished for that. Just something you want to keep in mind. You always want to like minimize the chances of that happening. It's first of all, it's just a free card, which doesn't really come up that much in Prankets, but for example in Brave Virtual, every card in hand is like essential. A lot of times you just run so low on resources. Like having that extra card to pitch for like a Queen Long, whatever, is really insane. And second of all, you just don't want to draw it. You still have a draw. If you draw right here, you really hate yourself because you could have gotten that out of the deck. But anyways, let's go to the opponent's turn. The opponent will have to play through Imperm, Nip, and Enforcer with Gamma, Nocto, Safeyard, and draw for turn is an Apps. That's pretty good. That's actually insane. Is it? I don't know. Safeyard could pitch it, but you probably want to... So he's impermanencing it. Okay. Yeah. But you can still send for cost the Apps. Or you just go into Striker Dragon. Why don't you send Apps for cost? That doesn't make any sense. Nocto 2. Right? I mean, now you can still send it for cost for the fuel spell. What's it called? Dream. Yes, so it's actually the correct play. So Nocto 2, Striker 1, get the Boot Sector launch. Think on Resolve here. You probably want to pop one here. Just so he's reliant on having another Dragon Extender in hand, and if he doesn't have one, it's this pass. Force to pop Nocto, of course, it's a better play. The opponent doesn't have anything in grave to do with the Striker Dragon. Nocto will give him a draw if it goes into a Link Summon. So the opponent is probably going to pass here, unless I'm missing something. He doesn't have anything in grave. He has Boot Sector, Apps, and Gamma here. If you would have sent Apps for cost here, you could have had a Striker Dragon here. Not that it mattered too much. Yeah, I don't think the opponent played it now. The Eskimo played it nicely here. I think it's just that you misplayed it. You definitely shouldn't have gone for a nip that early, because there was no threatening of lethal. And if your opponent stayed on that, yeah, it's an Omni Negate, but you can definitely play through an Omni Negate with that hand. Like you played, I don't know. I think the opponent just played it out a little lackluster. So the opponent is calling GG. So what happened in this game? Game 1, I think the opponent just couldn't have done anything. I mean, yeah, he could have waited for the draw for turn, but playing through a double Raigeki and an Enforcer for Dragon Link with Rocket Synchron, Apps, and I think that's it, right? Yeah, Rocket Synchron, Apps, and I think it was another, the Chaos Emperor, which doesn't do anything at that point. So if the Rocket Synchron gets popped, you still would have had like a needed Quick Launch or like Chaos Space, even a Chaos Space. Imagine if you would have drawn Chaos Space. You would have pitched Apps, yeah, with a hard draw Chaos Base, you definitely could have played that. So definitely wait for the turn, draw for turn. Chaos Base would have been insane draw. Did he have an Ash with that? I think it was only Enforcer. Yeah, it was only Enforcer Raigeki, double Raigeki, right? So definitely just wait for the turn, draw for turn. Like, it doesn't matter too much. Like these 5 seconds, okay. Just wait for it. And game 2, definitely the opponent needed to wait with the Nip Gamma combo. Probably play out, first of all, play up the first turn. You have Safeguard Noctovision. You cannot get Ash on the Safeguard because of Gamma. If you get Ash on that, you auto win. If you don't get Ash on that, you can definitely play through an Ash on a later stage because you get like the double Dragon play. You have just so much advantage, and you still have a Nip plus like probably Nip plus Seal at the least, depending on where the hand traps will get hit. So definitely play it out. Nip Gamma is nice, but it's not. You have plays, so just play them out. You have plays through hand traps as well. I don't know why you did that, and even when you don't play, then use the double hand trap combo correctly and don't use it on just entering the battle phase and the opponent actually not even having lethal on board, because there's nothing. I mean, there's no tempo gain the opponent has from just going battle phase. He's not killing you, so he's just doing some damage. So just wait for it. You can always nip later on, and if the opponent goes from battle phase into end phase, you still have enough to play, because the opponent would have only had an Omni Negate, Nip, and Ash. And if you think about your hand, you use Safeguard, pitch itself to empty out the field, and any disruption on that will lead into a Gamma, who at most would have taken 2 disruptions out, right? Because, for example, Safeguard, pitch itself, the opponent will add, you will Gamma, the opponent will use his Griffin, and then you still would have had the draw for turn, which would have been an ass, which you could have sent as well. So I don't know. It seems like the opponent should have played out, and if he didn't play out like he did, you should have definitely nipped Gamma later on. So that's been it for the videos. I hope you guys liked it, and if you want to see more different decks on this channel, definitely send me some nice replays, or like hit me up with some decks. Maybe I can play them myself. I'm honest. Brave Virtual World hasn't been working out great for me lately. I've been switching around from like 42 to 60 cards. I think at 42 the amount of bricks or like bad extenders is just too bad to play. So I tried 60, but then you relied on Small World for consistency reasons, and with Small World hands you just don't have enough power to play, like for the endpot to be actually strong enough. So I'm currently at like 50 and I'm testing that, but maybe I will be switching to like Punk Virtual World, maybe Pure Virtual World. I don't know. I really like Virtual World, but yeah, the list I've been using hasn't been working out too well. Getting a little tilted there. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Class is out. You guys are dismissed. Professor Sunreis out. Peace.